Go for it.
I love doing it.
Yep.
All right, good evening. Thank you for coming to tonight's council meeting. Calling tonight's regular council meeting to order. Please read the sunshine notice.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of 2022 meeting dates was published in the Courier News and Burnsville News on December 9, 2021, and posted at the Municipal Complex and the Borough Library. Action may be taken.
Thank you. Please stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a fun fact, today's Flag Day, so. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Caminiti?
Here.
Council President Corigliano?
Here.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Here.
Councilman Lemma?
Here.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Here.
Councilman Sweeney?
Here.
Mayor Skinner.
I am here. Thank you. Moving on to public comments, 5 minutes per person on non-agenda items. It's the policy of the Borough Council that all public comments on an issue shall be limited to 5 minutes per person. Comments may be made on any non-agenda subject pertaining to borough issues. Comments pertaining to public hearings should be saved for that section of the agenda. There'll be no debating between residents. Comments should be addressed to the mayor and council at the public microphone or online if you're online. We do need your name and address when you speak, before you speak. So, anybody, we'll start first with the council room, then we'll go to virtual. Anybody from the public have any non-agenda items? Come on down.
How's everyone? Andrew Fitzmayer, 5 Brook Street. I just had a concern about security at Public Works. I know that there's an email floating around about it, but lately a lot of people have been dumping off hours. I know the ordinance says that for businesses, recycling is open, but people are using the regular dumpster. People are also going over to the back, hanging out and walking. I obviously know that there's a trail being put in. Signage is a little confusing. It says trail this way, but then there's 3 more signs that say no trespassing. I don't know if we can do something about it, or if I should speak directly to Brad Bagan or GP. That's your vote.
Yeah, sure, I'm happy to weigh in. Yes, you're right, there is a trail being put in. Is there a disturbance connected with that, or are you worried just about presence?
Presence, people are going back there, hanging out back, in, not on the trail, but on Public Works property. So there's a sign that says no trespassing, which means no trespassing. Obviously, if you're going down to the trail, that's allowed.
Here, GP, Sergeant Scanlon is online right now, so you.
Yeah, I was just
so
going to
call.
say, I can coordinate with the police department and see what their patrol schedule is and see if they can add maybe a loop or an extra loop to.
I know that there's a yellow gate there that used to be closed. Obviously, if there were to be a gate that was closed, if they have access to it, they're supposed to be there. If you don't have access to it, then why are they back there? So maybe we can implement some type of electronic gate. It's 2022. It's no more keys like there used to be. I remember back in the day, cops used to have to get out and open the gate themselves.
Do you know of any reason why that gate is now open?
I don't.
Consistent or
It's
not?
been, it's been open for years, but
Insight?
It's been open for a long time. I know there was 2 different instances because the gate is, I know, yellow, but at night it's kind of hard to see. It's a very, plain gate that 2 different vehicles have hit the gate. So we just leave it open.
I've been to plenty of other public works and, because they're associated to parks or trails, and they have gates and they're locked.
That's the other issue with that is then we would need to have somebody monitor dumping of recycling, or remove the recycling bins off-site, have access to them all.
That's where our businesses.
In the ordinance, it says business hours of Public Works. But people
I'm just
go
wondering what the
back
nature of the disturbance is. Brad, do you know of any incidents where things have gone missing or been vandalized or any property damage down at the DPW yard?
I've been a kid, I know people's gone down there playing, because there's a lot of property down there. There's
Sure.
Yards, there's a yard in front of his house, there's the other property. Nancy and myself have been over this before, and there's been no disturbance to any of our property or equipment, so everything's locked, so there's nowhere for anyone to go.
I think just a dusk, time limit would make sense on that. I mean, that's the case with what Navarre, right? I mean, it's considered closed at a certain point, so could we put reflectors on the gate and not lock it, but just close it?
I also
I
see a
guess.
dumping issue, people coming off hours and at 11 o'clock at night, dumping in. I understand that for businesses, you're allowed to dump in the recycling, but not in the regular
Do we
trash.
have cameras down there, or any talk getting cameras? I mean, not, I mean, you get off-the-shelf cameras.
Are you aware of a dumping issue, Brad?
Not that I'm aware of, that I've ever seen, or anybody that comes, usually I see businesses come during the day. So anybody that's there after hours, obviously I'm not seeing them unless they're late. But it's usually people dropping off recycling.
Since we're a data-driven town, I have data to back this. When there's cars
Sure.
going through the gates after hours in the middle of the night,
I'm
or
always,
weekends or whatever.
I'm always
A lot of
interested
people
in,
turn around there too, so, I mean, there's really nowhere for, delivery trucks, Amazon, UPS, FedEx, they all turn around within our facility, because if you put the gate up, then it's a dead end, then he's gonna have an issue over here turning around in his driveway, because there's nowhere to turn around.
likely, yeah, likely.
So that's like, essentially, that's the cul-de-sac at the end that everybody uses to turn around. So if you eliminate that, then you have another issue.
Just wanted to bring it to the attention of my town.
Okay, thank you very much.
Maybe we could look into off-the-shelf, relatively inexpensive, like we did up in the police department years ago. Just, I mean, we don't need to spend thousands of dollars, but, and then we can monitor, do we have dumping, who's dumping? If there are plates we can get the plates of the vehicles going in there, and then, one, do we have a problem? Number two, and if we do have a problem, then it's a good way to address it versus having people turn around in your driveway that, which.
Maybe reconfirm the signage for the trails, because literally right next to
Yeah.
each other, it says, don't come in, and then it says, come this way.
Right.
So.
Right, the trails haven't been finalized. I mean, the whole idea is there's gonna be a bridge, so the access is really gonna be from the old county DPW that's go through there.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't know there was any trail signage at this point.
Well, there's one of the brown, like the people walking. trail
Okay.
sign.
The trail that we completed in 2020.
Right, that one that you kind of cleared?
To the county, yeah, it was completely cleared and went out to the county.
Right,
I believe, yeah, John Compo walked it.
right. But we didn't, we're still working on that connection, the
Yeah,
bridge. And so right now,
a lot of
people would have to start at DPW if they wanted to do that kind of through that swampy
What we
area.
can do is we can
Stopping
check,
people going into Public Works and actually taking the trail.
Mhm.
Sergeant Scanlon's on the line and he would like to speak. Is that okay?
Sure.
Mayor Council, I apologize, I can't be in the meeting, I'm the only one covering the road, and my radio doesn't work too well in the council, and so I'm in my office. This is the first that we're hearing of anybody, trespassing at the DPW. We haven't gotten any, or received any complaints from residents about anybody being down here late at night or hanging out down here late at night. I would urge, residents that if they do see something down there, please give us a call so we can go down and check it out. I'm in the cab right now looking at all our incidents over the past couple of months, and other than cars getting, gas, those are the only things we have to do down there.
Okay.
okay,
Thank you.
we'll take a look at it, we visit it and make sure that any pedestrian access or public access to that site is consistent with other public areas in town, so that we have a uniform standard, and advise the police, of course, accordingly, and adjust signage as needed.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And if you see it, call it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Public for non-agenda items? Is Sergeant Scanlon the only one on?
There's one other person on, but she has not indicated that she would like to speak.
Okay, so we will, I'm saying this, drawing it out. So we were closing the public comment non-agenda item section of the meeting. Moving on to old business. Any old business? Moving on to new business, discussion of road names for residential development on 206. I guess we got a list of the 3 possible names. Does anybody?
I thought it was 3 different
Yeah, that was
roads.
three
and
different
three names.
Yeah, 3 roads, 3 names.
And where's this exactly? I'm sorry.
SJP of Properties.
Oh, the
across
SJP, okay.
206
They said
line.
block 30, and I was like, I didn't have my map from me, okay. SJP.
I meant 3 separate roads, 3
I
names,
see.
but yeah, not 3 names for a road.
So they suggested 3 names, they all look like fine names to
Right.
me, and kind of fit with the spirit of the design of the
Right.
complex.
Mark, can you read those names again?
I was just gonna, yeah.
Sure, it was Brandywine Drive was Road A. Road B, which I seem to recall was a connector between 2 roads, is Saratoga Way, and Road C, which is a shorter parallel road to Road A, is Concord Lane.
Okay.
Very nice.
Very
The
patriotic.
roads in there look like an H.
Revolution.
All right,
So we would have to formalize this in a resolution, which we can do next
Right.
next
Okay.
meeting, right?
Yep.
Right?
okay, very good.
Mayor, the other new business item, I want to thank DPW for the work they did at the lime kiln. They took care of the weeds. We did have new plantings there last year or so, so it looks like those have been protected, so thank you. It looks a lot better.
Thank you. Any other new business?
So Karen, you have a note to put that on for next meeting as a resolution?
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Moving on to miscellaneous discussions and approvals.
I have something for that.
Okay,
The Somerset Hills Little League, they finish up with their, what they had asked for practicing on the fields, this week, and they wanted to know if they can extend it to the end of July. I did check their insurance is covered for the year, and Recreation has nothing going on that it would interfere with their scheduling. So I just wanted to get a consensus from everybody as to whether or not you have a problem with them still practicing there.
I'm fine with it.
I don't-
No, it doesn't interfere with rec camp?
No, Rex already signed off.
Now, they're here from 5 to 7
it's
or
even?
5 to 8 at night.
So the same kids, same players, same team, same configuration, no
Yep.
expansion of use or anything?
No,
just different dates.
just different dates, just an extension to the end of July.
I'm good with it.
All right,
That probably typically reflects when they start going into their district play, Little League Baseball.
okay, perfect.
Speaking of rec, Mark, you had reached out about a pickleball question, and
Oh,
pickleball, right?
I did send something out.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, but, and I don't know if rec has been involved in thinking about this, but it seems like it's a positive idea for some residents I've spoken to, but I wonder if, we've talked about like using the current tennis courts to mark off pickleball space. What about the current basketball court here? Like if we had a retractable net, because I understand the net is just a little bit different than a normal net, but this way the basketball court could be converted into pickleball.
You don't need any kind of fencing around it or?
I don't know that you do. I'm not,
I
I don't know
I-
pickleball, but
I'm asking.
yeah,
genuinely.
so I think maybe that could be something to explore because it would enable more use of this court beyond basketball. It could be multi-sport use.
This basketball court is used quite a bit. I'm here
Okay,
fairly often because I'm right around the corner and I'm
Yeah.
a basketball loving child. So,
okay.
I just happen to know that there are often, kids there.
Yeah, so we don't want to take that away from them.
And I do have, I played pickleball once and
Yeah.
having it enclosed is quite helpful for a
Okay.
beginner especially.
All right.
So I do think it's probably better to convert or paint the lines on one of the tennis courts.
Mm-hmm,
And you can just use a tennis,
okay,
net. I think.
yeah,
I happened to be in Conline Park walking my dog
Yeah.
one day, and some pickleball players went out there, and it really is amazing because they're out there with measures, and they use removable tape.
Yeah, they
doesn't harm-
tape it.
And they
Mhm.
tape it down, and,
Yeah.
it takes them about 15 minutes to get it the way they like it. So
yeah.
I like the idea about having some
I'd
lights
just
on
be
there.
curious, but, I mean, you have basketball, you have football fields that have the lining on it for soccer and for football. I mean, I'm not sure, I don't know why it would be a problem.
I can't see it being an
if you
issue.
had-
No, I think a lot of tennis courts have pickleball lines as well
Yeah.
now.
So maybe making something like those lines more permanent on the current
Yeah.
courts would be,
Well,
We have to get it refinished anyway, right? There's a big
Yeah.
crack.
Yeah,
I
one
was just
point in
gonna
my
say-
email also is we talked about this crack now for a year.
yeah.
We need to get it fixed.
They, Dan is trying to get the county, a co-op to come and give us pricing. The original couple that he does no longer does that, but he has been looking for, a company to come in and fix the crack.
Is that up to
Thank you.
Dan to manage, or is that really up to DPW to oversee?
It's more of a recreation. And he is going
I would think it
through,
would be a facilities thing. No?
Well, maybe it's a partnership.
Okay,
It's a little bit of both, I guess.
as long as it gets done.
and so he is looking into it, and I think at that time you can line one of them with both of them.
And, we have a rec committee meeting tomorrow night, and I'll bring it up with them.
Okay.
And, we should have our subcommittee as of tomorrow night for the, top park.
Okay, excellent.
You're gonna be busy tomorrow. Don't we have the land use meeting tomorrow?
I'm not sure how I'm gonna juggle this one.
All right, so is that good for pickleball?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't play pickleball, but I suspect I will be one day. And it seems like the hottest thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why a
Seems like
neighbor
fun.
brought it up to me.
How is it different than paddleball? I remember, like,
Platform tennis, too.
Really,
Yeah, paddle
platform
tennis,
tennis.
I don't know.
I think they're building a
Yeah.
pickleball courts by the Burnett Pool. Actually,
I
yeah.
know what a pickle looks like, and I know what a ball looks like.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with pickles.
Yeah.
All right, anything else for miscellaneous discussions and approvals?
So just one comment, Mayor. Liberty Park is coming along rather well at this point, so things are getting back on track. And the council will have to think about, in fairly short order, the reopening of the park. So there, not at this meeting, but I will talk about what the limitations will be. There'll be some special fencing to protect the new plantings. They're going to hydro seed hopefully Thursday, and we'll have to keep people off the lawn for a few weeks. But I just want to sort of plant the seed that
No pun intended.
that maybe in the shortest of 2 weeks, we'll be ready to think about an opening. And what should that opening be? Should we just open it? Should we have a ceremony of some sort? Should there be communication with the public as to what the changes were, what changes are still coming? Councilman Sweeney alluded to the tot lot. So we're going to have the fencing up, we're going to have new mulch down, but the tot lot equipment will take 6 to 9 months to order. So let the parents know that it's coming. So things of that nature.
Are we pulling the old stuff out?
So we're going to leave it in place until the new equipment is ready. So the tot lot will be there with new fence, new mulch, old equipment, and the replacement is being designed.
I would think, since this is probably one of the biggest expenditures the borough has had on a single project, that we should probably have a grand reopening. I mean, not just like it's opened up and we just kind of forget about it. I mean, just,
Okay.
I think,
Okay.
I think we should do something like a public splash. Plus, it'll publicize that it's open, and we can also, in the same breath, say, oh, by the way, this is gonna be fenced in. And
So we just scheduled the substantial compliance review for the 27th of June. At that meeting, we may say we're ready, and there'll be a few little things, or we're not ready, we have to repair these items. You were invited to that.
Yeah, 27th is good.
Yeah. So I think we have a council meeting the following night. So maybe Nancy, if you can put Liberty Park discussion as a new business, a reopening discussion as a new business item, and we can discuss at length those
Where we are,
things.
Let me just ask an open question. Do we have the grand opening now when we do, or do we make it a soft opening now and do a grand opening when the fences come out and the tot lot equipment is in and all that?
That's going to be a year from now.
Well, we could do kind of a combo community day grand opening of the park next summer, but have, and not, I don't know if you want to call it a soft opening, still do a celebration, an announcement, a description of what's still coming, but then maybe combine some sort of celebration with community day next June.
That's a
That's not
thought.
a bad
That's
idea.
a thought. Only because, we could have a grand opening now, but you're gonna be standing amongst a lot of orange fencing.
Yeah, and just for members of the public, the biggest eyesore that we're going to have is and you've seen it as the grading is being completed and the plantings are looking quite nice, there's orange fencing around all the planting beds. And the reason for that is we put thousands with an S of new plants in, and the geese think these things are just wonderful play toys. And within hours of being planted, the geese are pulling them out. They're not eating them, they're just playing with them and de-rooting them. So the only way around that is to put orange fencing on both sides of the planting so that the geese can't get in there and they're deterred, and that's working pretty well. And I'm told that as soon as the plants take root, which would be within 12 months, you can remove the fencing, and then the geese have lost interest because they can't pull it out anymore. So that's the reason for it. There's also some black fencing in the pond. We planted 400 lilies, I think, and those will act as purification mechanisms with a natural root system to clean up some of the algae in the pond, and that's actually starting to work already. You notice we haven't had a significant algae bloom yet this year. I'm not saying that we won't have it until the root system gets established, but we're just going to have to get through the visual hurdle of dealing with the orange fencing for quite some time.
Will the aerator fountains come back on?
That is a great question. So the answer is yes. It was a lot more complicated because we need the new electrical service that we approved 2 meetings back to power those fountains, because there wasn't enough power to do the lights and the fountains. And at this point, the trenches are dug, the cables are run, the new concrete pad is poured, the conduit is ready to hook up the aerator hoses, and Brad has been in touch with JCP&L. We've marked the pole, they just have to run the service down, which they can't do till we trim the trees. So there's my life is hell. There's
Yeah.
a series of things that need to be done, but we're getting close. But yes, absolutely, we're gonna have the aerators back in, and in a more inconspicuous spot than it was before for the control mechanism.
Oh, great.
Don, is it true that when all these plants grow in, they're supposed to impede the geese from coming in?
Yes, that is what we've been told. The plants around the perimeter of the pond, two things. The geese will have a harder time walking from the grass area to the pond. And secondly, I'm told that they don't like, and Jamie's a veterinarian, so she might know better, they don't like being in a pond where they can't see beyond the edge of the pond, and that would block the visual field of view that they have if they're in the water. But you may have noticed that there are far fewer geese now than there were last year, or the year before, the year before. Will they come back or not? We just don't know, but we're hopeful that, they'll find another place to live.
And what about that machine that somebody recommended to us?
Oh, yeah,
Geese.
yeah, there's a
A
geese
siren or
repellent noise device that we're gonna be looking at as an option. We don't wanna do it yet, we wanna wait to see, what our goose problem is afterwards. Also, the geese are protected, so we can't, our options are limited in dealing with them.
Not during hunting season.
So I take it if you have any major landscaping projects at your house, you're not doing those because you're done with landscaping projects?
I am done with landscaping for the rest of my life.
Okay.
By the way, I just want to mention that for the members of the public, the kiosks are up and redone. There's new shingles on there. They've been painted by Brad's team. The weir is done. It's been painted. The railings are done. It's been painted. The grading is done. The paths are done. We've made a lot of progress. So I think within 2 weeks, we may be ready. So.
Okay. We'll have that discussion at our next meeting.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for all the work you put in.
Well done, Don.
Thank you.
Anything else for miscellaneous discussions and approvals? All right, moving on to reading and approval of minutes. Regular meeting minutes of May 24th, 2022. Do I have a motion to approve? Second.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to ordinances, public hearing of ordinance 1113, 2022, an ordinance appropriating certain monies held by the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone for the acquisition of a new case 2022 521G wheel loader in the amount of $185,746. Did I say that right, Brad? Do I have a motion to open a public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote to open a public hearing.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, hearing is open. Is there anybody from the public who would like to comment on this ordinance? Okay, hearing none. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Do I have, roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1113-2022?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Ordinance 1113-2022 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. Public hearing for ordinance number 1114, 2022, providing for various improvements in and by the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone in the County of Somerset, New Jersey, appropriating $232,636 in the General Capital Fund and $44,400 in the Open Space Trust, and $71,318 in the Sewer Capital Fund, therefore from various funds of the borough. Wow. Motion to approve, motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 1114, 2022. Second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote to open the public hearing.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Is there anybody from the public who would like to comment on this ordinance?
Can I ask a question about this one? The 44,000 from open space, that's for trails and anything else specific?
Yeah, that was for, give me a second to pull up the budget.
I just want to get that update.
That was for trails and the footbridge.
Yeah, it was
Footbridge,
something, no,
which-
some engineering, trails, give me 1 second.
Please stand by.
Trails, 35,000, footbridge plans, engineering, and bid documents, 9,400. Total 44,400.
And which footbridge is that? Is that the?
Footbridge plans, engineering, and bid docs. I believe it's the footbridge over the river from the DPW
Okay, that's
property.
something, okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, public comment. Anybody want to comment on this one? I think did we close it?
Yeah, I'm not sure here. One of the residents put in the chat, yes. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if she has a comment on this ordinance. Let me see.
I will leave the budget open, so we need that.
Oh, it was an error. She said that was an error.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, motion to close the public hearing. Second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Motion to adopt ordinance 1114-2022.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1114-2022 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. Public,
So everyone knows what we just did here was we set aside monies to match the capital items identified in our budget. And those monies are now set aside and locked in. However, the Borough Council still has to approve each purchase individually, such as the loader we just approved.
ordinance, public hearing on ordinance 1115-2022, an ordinance appropriating certain monies held by the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone for improvements to Liberty Park. Do I have a motion to open a public hearing for ordinance 1115-2022?
So moved.
And a second,
Second.
please. Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, anybody from the public would like to comment on this ordinance? Anybody online, which is the public?
Nope.
Okay, hearing nobody wanted to make public comment, motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 1115-2022.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Councilman
Please.
Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, ordinance number 1115-2022 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law.
I think that was just to close the public hearing.
When I was saying that, I knew that.
Mm.
Thank you. I was hoping.
You're new at this.
First time tonight. Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1115-2022?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1115-2022 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with law. I don't want you to think of robots running this meeting, so I will make a mistake. Moving on to resolutions, resolutions 138 through 149 and 152 and 154. Do I have a motion for a consent agenda for those? Approval.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Resolution 150-22, authorization for Reed Hatchie to become a junior fireman of the, and that's how it's written in the statute and the ordinance, of the PEAPACK and Gladstone Volunteer Fire Department. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 150-22?
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
And a related Resolution 151-22, authorization for Julianne Harris to become an auxiliary member of the PEAPACK and Gladstone Fire Department. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 151-22?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Great that we have two new members, even in different roles, but phenomenal. I know the junior's looking forward to learning the trade, and I know Julianne Harris is an integral member helping out, doing other things. So
Julianne's been teaching a yoga class
for like
on
2 years
Mondays
now.
and Thursdays So we have a very limber fire department.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Stretching
Yeah.
and yoga.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see some new volunteers,
Yep.
especially, junior members, tremendous.
So, awesome, thank you for joining. So, Resolution 154, resolution authorizing payment, wait, no, I did that, sorry. 155, resolution 155.
52.
You don't
We
have
did
155.
152, yeah, we did this. 155, a resolution, we did the consent, 138 to 149, and 152 and
Oh, I'm
Is this the
154.
addition one?
Yeah, this is the additional
This
one.
is the excess.
Resolution 155, 2022, resolution authorizing execution of memorandum of understanding between the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone and PBA Local 139. Do I have a motion to accept this resolution? And a second.
Second.
John, do you want to just give a quick synopsis?
Very briefly, there's a memorandum of understanding, which is a settlement of the collective bargaining agreement with the police. I guess the most significant aspect of it, aside from the salary scales, which obviously have increases built into them, is that the sergeant position, the corporal position will no longer be a stipend, it will be a salary position, and therefore pensionable. It's a 4-year agreement, so we've got, I guess, 2.5 years before we have to look at the process all over again. As a result of it being in mediation, the mediator really was not interested in settling any non-salary issues, so the memorandum of understanding is all of 2 pages. It's primarily just the salary increases going forward.
Okay, thank you. Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to bills list, resolution 153-22, approval of bills as signed and listed in the bill payment list. Can you please read the number just to make sure it hasn't changed?
$874,337.05.
Are there any items that need to be pulled for discussion?
Just one quick question about New Jersey American Water bill for 1 School Street. I believe the amount was $7,500.
Do you know about that, Nance?
Correct, and it is usually, and that might have been a 2-month bill.
2-month bill.
That might have been a 2-month bill,
Okay.
but it is usually around there.
For 2 months though. Okay. I was just wondering, this was high. So for 2 months.
Should we check to confirm that in fact it is 2 months?
No,
You know that it is? Okay.
And they've
Okay.
we've been getting notices that I'm almost positive it is, because we've been getting notices that they've missed payments on some of them,
Mhm.
so.
Okay.
Okay,
Nancy, just one question. Is the 1 School Street bill only for this building, or is it several buildings that the municipality owns that are concatenated in the single bill? It just seems like a lot of work for one building.
It is only for this building, because we do have a separate bill for, the firehouse, we do have a separate bill for, DPW. They are all separate, and this doesn't seem that high for what, this is. That's why I'm thinking it is 2 months,
Okay.
because I think we do spend around $3,000, $4,000 a month on water here.
Okay. We don't have sprinklers then, right?
I don't think so.
Lawn sprinklers?
No,
Okay. I'm not an expert.
Nancy, I think it's even for more months than that.
it possibly.
I'm
Yeah, it
thinking
sounds high.
that seems high.
That seems really high.
okay, but it's not out of the ordinary. It's not a monthly bill.
No, it's not a monthly bill.
Okay, thank you.
All right, do I have a motion to approve resolution 153-22?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Okay, those pass.
Nancy, just take a look at that, would you?
I will.
Yeah, that
All right.
seems,
Just take a look, and just make sure, see what the period is for.
right.
We pay about $180 a month for the fire department building, and that's not hardly used. So figure this building's gotta be more than that, but how much more?
All right, public comments, 3 minutes per person, agenda items only. It's the policy of the Borough Council that all public comments on an issue shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. There'll be no debating between residents. Comments should be addressed to the mayor and council at the public microphone or online if you're online. Again, that we ask if you want to speak, that you please state your name and address. Okay, anybody from the public want to speak on agenda items only? Anybody from the public? I mean, from the online?
No.
All right, seeing none, closing the public comment on agenda items. Moving on to adjournment. Is there any further business?
Do we want to mention intern?
Sure, yes. We'd like to, we have an intern from the Burnsville News, Caitlin Khomeini, right? Did I say that right? She's, how long are you here for? Or with the Burnsville News? And you're,
For the summer.
and she's a local resident, so she's interning for the Burnsville News, learning the trade of journalism. So I guess you'll be covering us?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, well, it's a big commute here, right? So, very good. Congrats and welcome. And if you have any questions, reach out.
You're a resident of Tiger Hill, right?
Yes.
And you're going to the USC?
Yes.
Right, that's great.
All right, thanks for being here.
Somebody's going into journalism, wow.
Wow, yeah. Is there any further business in the council? Seeing none, motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Next meeting will be on Tuesday, June 28th
Galen?
at 7.
Good job, good job.
That's where you won't get in trouble.
Yeah, that's
37 minutes.
I think I did under 30 once, like just under. But I'm happy.
all right.
I knew I was.
Some of the lights.
You know what?
I was gonna master her name. She'll let you introduce her.
That was one of the things I wanted
Hey,
to.
Mark, before you leave, I got the roofing quotes. I just wanted to sit down with you for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
That water seems pretty. That's like.
Never mind, I was gonna say
That's a big
That's special water.
Maybe $1,000 a month.
You didn't install a backflow preventer. Penalty.
Huh?
Higher than higher.
Yeah.
So Charlie asked us.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
She has to.
She can follow up.
I know.
No way. we-
There's no way that's all, that's for the hydrants or something.
You still record in there? Do you want to stop?
That would make sense.
Yeah, that's what it usually was.
That's for everything that they forgot to bill us for over like the last 30
$90,000
years.
divided by 12. It's gotta be a hydrant.